Welcome back to our channels, Warriors. Why not? Why not? I just did a video on 2-on-1s. Why not 2-4-1? Alright? You guys are awesome. You guys got us to 9,000 subscribers. If you haven't already hit it, smash that subscribe button now. Agendas. Alright? The definition of agenda is either a personal agenda, is pushing like a belief on somebody else, or a personal agenda is secretly having something like going for you, right, as an individual. And in CDCR, California Department of Corrections, an agenda is usually bad, right? This is coming from your boy that just resigned as a lieutenant after 16 years in the department. So let's break it down. Let's kick it off, right? Starting with officers, the rank of correctional officer. I was an officer for 8 years before I promoted to sergeant. Do officers have agendas? Well, officers, including young officers, what they want to do, and I'm speaking for males, I'm not a female, right? What they want to do is they want to hook up, they want to get drunk, they're making a lot of money, they're never had this much money before, they're going nuts, right? They got that law enforcement badge, sky's the limit. They no longer got to eat at McDonald's. They can now go to Red Lobster. It's like it's all good. Let me get that steak, right? So, is that an agenda? No, that's more of a lifestyle. Are there officers when it comes to work that are rude to inmates, discourteous to inmates, make the inmates' lives a living hell? Yes, I've been brutally honest thus far. Not going to stop now. Matter of fact, I don't know how to be any other way. So, is that an agenda? Coming in as a CO, angry at the world, angry at their spouse, angry at the dogs. Maybe they did get beat up as school kids. Maybe they hold a grudge. And now they see an inmate in a position of disadvantage due to circumstances that, hey, they want to impose their power on them. Is that an agenda? Some might say that's an agenda. But to me, that's more of poor impulse control. Definitely no communication skills at all. Not street smart, never been about it, never been in it, right? Never, for the most part, have been victimized. As in, like, hey, you talk smack to somebody, they slapped you around. Oh, wow. Oof. Won't be doing that again. That's what I'm talking about. Now, the rank of correctional sergeant. I was a sergeant for 3 years. I wasn't trying to hang out at that rank, especially at Donovan. What I'm going to tell you is my experience at Donovan from this point forward and my observations throughout the department. Because mind you, the department is small. Somebody asked, why is it small? Well, for starters, when you go to an academy in Sacramento, you're meeting people from all over California. You're meeting people that are going to go to different prisons. High Desert, Pelican Bay, Tehachapi, Folsom, Corcoran, DVI. You exchange numbers. They become your homies. So when we touch down at our own places, we still have that connection. We still have that connect. That's why it's so easy to get background checks, thumbs up or thumbs down on an individual. There's courses that are offered in the department, the Sergeant's Academy when you promote to sergeant, basic supervision when you promote to sergeant, and all this requires you going to another institution and or a learning center and meeting other people from other institutions. They become homies, you exchange numbers, now you know even more people, and so on and so on. So do sergeants have agendas? I could tell you sergeants are struggling as far as, like, it's not like the good old days where you can kick back, kick your feet up, yell at the officers for calling you. Hey man, do you need me to come down and run your building for you? Bah! right? Because that's how we got the treatment. It was embarrassing to call the sergeant. And the reason being is because inmates will act up sometimes, act a fool. Not all of them, but they'll be like, oh, I'm not going to go in until I call the sergeant. Well, I'm not calling the sergeant. So I don't know what you want me to do, man. Sometimes push comes to shove, and then we'll see how the situation plays out. Now we have body cameras, we have surveillance cameras. It's just a whole different ballgame. Policies have changed where you do, in fact, kind of have to call the sergeant now. Therefore, it sucks being a sergeant. In essence, you're running the officer's building from the sergeant's office, on top of all the frivolous work that's getting thrown on you. So, do they have agendas? Well, an agenda would be to promote to lieutenant, to get out of the rank of sergeant. An agenda would be to try to build enough seniority to get a better spot. So you're not in Charlie Yard. So you're not in ADSEG, the Administrative Segregation Unit, the whole. Even then, I wouldn't call it an agenda because you're not imposing your will on anybody. You're not affecting anybody. What you're doing is you're either grinding or kissing, you know what, to get to that next level. You're studying, you're taking a test for that next promotion, lieutenant. So, no, not an agenda. Lieutenants, right? And I laugh because I was a lieutenant. When I resigned on December 1st, I was a lieutenant. I was like a lieutenant for like 5-6 years. And I laugh because it's grimy. It's grimy. And even all the sergeants and officers would say, man, you guys are drama. You guys are drama. Like me, I minded my own business. I did my own thing. I chilled. I relaxed a lot. I took it easy. But when things kicked off, you better believe your boy was right there, right at the tip of the spear. It's what I do. People didn't like that. My peers didn't like that. They would say like I was lazy. Like they wanted to see me struggle. And I wasn't struggling. Like the paperwork was ridiculous, right? Frivolous. It was extra. It was frustrating, but I wasn't like beating my head over. I would just be like, hey, this is what they want. Bam, basic. Like get this off my desk, onto the next BS assignment. But yeah, people will start smutting each other up. People will start ratting, whether you're a dry snitcher or whether you're a straight snitcher. And like trying to, now that would be kind of like an agenda. Now you're affecting other people to excel, right? This is where it gets disgusting. This is what I can't stomach because I've always been the type to like, hey, if you're getting it or if you're not getting it, don't hate on the next dude that's getting it, right? And that's like, even if a dude is pulling chicks, right? And you want to be like a C blocker. I was never one, so like, I never understood that. Like, why would you hate on the dude if he's just doing his thing? Like, it doesn't pertain to you. It doesn't, none of your business, right? So, this is how I viewed the rank of lieutenant. It was grimy. But that's another reason why it didn't sit well with me. Like, I was like looking around. You had dudes, and I'm laughing because I'm looking at my tattoo of the lion. You had a dude that thought he was a lion in his own mind, but he was on workman's comp the whole entire time I knew him. Like, that's not a lion. That's like, what is that? Anyhow, you see, it's a lot of that shenanigans, right? I told you, captain and above, you have now sold your soul. You now belong to them. You now belong to the California Department of Corrections. You guys are probably wondering, like, what do you mean, Hector? What do you mean? Well, you become salary. You become no longer hourly, meaning you get paid while you work, overtime. It's like, hey, you get paid what you get paid, and that's it. It don't matter if your ass is in the office, on your laptop from home. And that's a weird thing that we would see, man, which is not a good look. Like, it's a Saturday at midnight, and you're sending me emails about rules violation reports, and it's like, hey, man, go to bed. Watch some television. Get a girlfriend. Get a boyfriend. Like, what do you... It's weird, right? So, like, now it becomes... it becomes unethical. Because they're now being asked from the top to carry out their agenda and I'm gonna get to this. This is what the whole video is about. So stay tuned. They're now being asked to carry out their dirty work, and they're actually doing it. Oh my God. There was one good dude, and I've already said it, at RJD. Awesome guy, Marine, the best of the best, man. Never seen him give in to these people. But that's one out of like 10. What do you want me to say? Like 1% of the managers are good? Like, this is my experience, right? And people have been reaching out to me from other institutions. It seems like this is across the board. I know it's like this across the board. So now, the reason why I made this video, right? Wardens. Acting wardens. And this is where it gets juicy. And you guys need to understand something, right? They recently fired an employee from RJD last week. And I know everything, right? I keep my ear to the tier. I keep my ducks in a row, right? I stay on point. Then you start real. Well, I'm free as a bird, right? Hit that Free Bird song by Leonard Skinner. So this is it, folks. You guys want to know? All over the world gets to hear it right now, man. New Zealand, Australia, you guys all get to hear it, and everybody in the United States. When a warden takes over an institution, right? You got a person, here comes a person, here's the prison, he comes and he takes that chair. It is 100%, 110% guaranteed that he will fire individuals. He's going to fire people. Oh, well, Hector, how do you know? Why would you say that? Because it's an agenda. He will 100% fire you. Because I've seen it. Mind you, I was at Donovan. We had this warden. We had him. P. We had C. We had another P. We had M. And now the current one, right? When they each touched down, they each fired people. It's like they're kind of setting the tone. They're sending a message to the troops. And how unfair is that? How unethical is that? You want to talk about legal and illegal wrongful termination? If I got any lawyers on here, please help, man. I'm pretty sure there's laws against wrongful termination. Reason being is because they know those people are going to get their jobs back. They know it 100% in their heart. After they lose it all. After they lose their wife, their house, their truck, their husband. And it's sad, it's disgusting. That's the agenda, right? So, now why is that bad? Because the cops, I already told you, they're trying to get laid, they're trying to get drunk, they're trying to have a good time. Yeah, they're coming to work, they're doing their job to the best of their ability. Hey, they're shaking in their boots when they're at work. They're scared. I know they are, right? Because I was. Oh, I'm going to get fired. I'm going to get fired. I'm going to get fired. Even though I'm doing the right thing, I'm going to get fired. Why? Because the wardens have an agenda. Their goal is to make themselves look good by firing employees to make it to Sacramento. And it's just a vicious cycle. I guarantee if they let me sit down with the top of, it'll never happen. But I can probably wipe out the trash. And there's a lot of trash at the top. It's all trash. It's a culture. It's a systemic culture. And it's disgusting. Because they paint us a certain way saying that we're a certain way when we're not. It's them. And you're hearing it from your boy right here. There's I'm going to be posting pretty soon a case, an actual case. It's public record. And the reason I'm going to post it is because I think Sacramento might think I'm bluffing. I'm not bluffing. This boy doesn't bluff. Why would I? When I come, right? So, and that goes to show you the corruption of how a certain manager lied on record and still managed to get their job back after being less than truthful, which no other officer has gotten their job back from that. There's like no coming back from less than truthful or dishonesty. They changed the verbiage. So, agendas, right? How unfair is that? How unethical is that? How immoral is that? How unfortunate is that for those cops, those officers that have families, daughters, sons? It's not cool. It's not cool any which way you cut it. Something has to change. Something has to change where these spineless individuals stop stepping on people, throwing them under the bus. And you know what's so funny that they can't even see it, that I could see? They're trying so hard to get to Sacramento. Well, pay attention, fellas and ladies. Pay attention. How long do those secretaries of CDCR last in that seat? They only last 1 year, if that now, because it's a fall guy position. You guys have to be able to see that. So you're working, you've already burned your bridges. Now you're, just retire. Retire. Make room for the young fish, right? Make room for the morally, ethically right individuals. There is no message for today because you can clearly hear what the message was. Keep pushing forward.